Welcome to Dependable Flame, where we explore vintage petrol lighters, ashtrays, tobacconiana, and other useful mechanisms. Make yourself at home. Today we are going to take a second look at this vintage Blazon aluminum block table petrol lighter. Fill it up with fuel. Talk to you guys a little bit about what kind of fuel economy this lighter gets, and hopefully convince one of you to buy it. This is a lighter that I acquired sometime in the last 3 or 4 months. I was unaware of it before I got this one. When seeking information about this lighter, I believe I found it included on the Toledo Bend VCL website. And it is marked Blazon, Blazon, made in Detroit, patent pending. I fueled this lighter up when making the first video for it. It's gone dry by now, but I was very pleasantly surprised at just how good the fuel economy was in this lighter. Now, I slid this insert in here a while ago this direction because it seemed like it fit a little tighter right there at the top. Maybe provide a little bit more friction, less open space for fuel to evaporate out. It slides in a little bit easier this way. And this is the way that it has been in there, I believe, the entire time that I have used it. Now, if you'll look, this just has a very small fuel tank. Very small. About the size of a third of a stick of chapstick. But anyway, when I filled it up, I made a couple of videos, short, full-length video, and then it got set aside, and then I would pick it up occasionally and strike it, and what do you know, every time I struck it for, well, I'm not going to make a claim. I'll wait and let's just see what happens after we fill this time and see how long it stays fueled. Doesn't look like the wadding in there is particularly dense, and as you can see, the fuel is just pouring out all over my hand. If you watch this channel on a regular basis, then you know that's nothing out of the ordinary. But like I said, we're going to put it in there this time the other way where it feels a little bit more snug, and just see if maybe that might help, although I didn't measure the time from the last time, so we'll just see how it goes. I do think that it's better to fit more snugly, just in case, don't want it dropping out of there. Now, the snuffer will just drop right off of there, and that's one thing I don't like about this lighter. But all in all, I'm really pleasantly surprised at how well this thing functions. I was really happy when I fueled it up the first time, just to see that the wheel operated so smoothly. Sometimes these kind of inserts can be a little clunky, and of course we are most certainly going to suffer some vapor lock right here off the bat with me overfilling that like that. Also, shout out to our buddy Giovanni Abazia, because he's the one that taught me this. Never really thought about it before he brought it up. But it's always best to snuff your flame rather than blowing it out. It's tempting a lot of times when you're making a video or you're trying to show somebody something just to blow it out, because then you're going to have to pull the snuffer back off, or depending on what kind of mechanism it is, you may have to open it back up. But it's really not that difficult just to pull the snuffer back off. And when you blow it out, you're always going to char your wick. That's why you don't want to do that. So thank you to our buddy Giovanni Abazia for that tip. So I don't know the exact pronunciation. I call it Blazon because it's appropriate, but it could be Blazon, Blazon, who knows. When you're watching Dependable Flame on YouTube, though, it is Blazon. So far, since refueling, here about 3 minutes ago, it has not lit on the first strike. And that's typical of vapor lock. That wick is pretty wet. Shouldn't be as much issue with vapor lock with an insert like this because it's so open. But when you have the wick so flooded with fuel, it is going to be difficult. Maybe a similar dynamic to flooding your carburetor back in the day. And so I mentioned that hopefully I could convince one of you to buy this lighter. And in that vein, in that regard, I would like to ask your opinions. Please leave your answer in the comment section. But I used some polish the other day to polish up an old aluminum block Petrol lighter, and it really made a big difference. Really shined it up. Everybody talks about patina. And of course, patina is evidence of age. And this is obviously an old lighter, whether it's got patina or not. It would take a lot for somebody to reproduce something like this with the same stamp. I just don't see them doing it. It wouldn't be worth their while. Although this lighter is not going to be cheap. Not overly expensive either. I'm guessing somewhere... this is right off the top of my head. I'm trying to remember. I looked some up, but probably somewhere in the $50 to $75 range. Don't hold me to that. If you go look on eBay and they've been selling here recently for $30 or $35, then obviously I may be thinking of another lighter, but I think the only one that was on eBay was listed way higher than I was going to say. Actually, I think there were two of them on eBay, and I think they were both going to be way higher than what I had in mind for this one. But the question is, do you think that polishing it would diminish its value to a collector, or make it more difficult to sell to a collector? Or would it being all shiny and whatever corrosion and other surface wear has happened to it be able to be taken off? Would that make it more appealing for certain collectors? So just leave your answers in the comment. Let me know. Polish or no polish? I've got a little tub of Mother's, is it Mother's Mag polish? whatever it is, magnesium, aluminum, it may be several alloys that stuff is good for. Really did well on a Jackson lighter that I shined up a couple of weeks ago, and it got me to thinking. Well, I'll tell you what got me to thinking about it is, you guys know that I'm also publishing videos nowadays on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. And there is a fella named the Lighter Man on TikTok who published a video of one of these lighters the other day. His was identical, really, except for some initials that were engraved on the side. But it had obviously been polished. It was very shiny, and it looked really cool. So, anyways, again, you guys let me know, polish or no polish, leave it as it is. Who wants to buy it? Until next time.